How strange is Earth? If you think about it, yeah, what's normal around the world, every part of the world, every race, every culture, people on Earth will enslave an innocent animal, yeah, mainly because they like the taste of them. But the food around them is not only more beneficial for their health, the planet, and their spiritual journey, yeah, there's nothing killed from it. There's no harming. There's nothing. There's no out of syncness with nature. You know. Although now people will say, well, nature, they do have killing. Different subject for now. But just think how crazy that is. Like we got food around us. Yeah. Um, got food around us. Yeah. And then you could say, well, the animal tastes better than that food. Well, I think not. I think since I've been vegan, yeah, not in the beginning. The beginning part was difficult because at the time it wasn't as popular, and I didn't know what to do. Just like anything you do in the beginning. Like think of something you done in the beginning: driving your car, remembering your phone number, remembering your address, your postcode. Yeah, never easy in the beginning. Same with veganism. Same with everything on the planet Earth, right? But now I had no choice but to experiment. I had no choice but to experiment because no matter how good my favorite vegan meal is, I can only have so much of that until I need to move on from that. But so that was my um, that was a challenge. That was one of my challenges, and by overcoming that, I experimented, and once again, by doing something, I gained something unexpectedly. Same way with veganism because my health, I couldn't smoke before. I like to smoke, and before I was vegan, I struggled, and now I don't. Well, not as much, and I've got some other vegan things that are making that struggle even less, and they're all vegan. I haven't come across anything that really can alter what man has corrupted, but nature. Whether it's blindness, whether it's AIDS, whether it's cancer, you know, all the products are vegan, right? I don't think the healing property is in eating animals because you think about it, yeah. This is the thing, like I don't care how tasty it is. I know chicken is tasty. I've eaten it. I remember. But then again, you got to remember that's a program we put in the computer, which we are, the mind, the brain, the connection between two. Yeah, the programming we have created that as being nice because I'm pretty sure the first time they ate it, they wasn't like, wow, this is better than what we got available. I don't think that was the case, right? But um, even though meat is delicious, yeah, it's still the concept. If if it was your mother, it doesn't care. It doesn't care how delicious it is. You're not gonna want to eat it. And if they said they got a vegan version that tastes exactly the same as your mother, you're still not gonna want to eat it. You see what I'm saying? So it's just the fact that it's the same thing. Why? Really, subconsciously, your mind has realized that it's a body part. Yeah, body part. A body that sweats, a body that bleeds, a body that stinks, a body that is not food. There's no way you can say that is food. But we are so occupied by this rat race that we can't see that. You know, people do wake up like a little bit though when you say dead animal or dead body parts, which it really is. It's not meat. It's not what you see. It's not how it's presented. It don't look too bad. Certain people who shops, Tesco's, whatever, the way the meat's packages, it actually looks um, doesn't look uncivilized, but it is nothing but uncivilized because the animal's innocent and any being that is presented in that way, it's a beautiful animal. Obviously, has use of having a wonderful experience, and if not affected by its environment. Yeah, because you and I know eating feels great. You and I know sleeping feels great. Shitting, farting, near enough everything we do to survive feels great. And it's the same for that animal. Which all those rights, all them experiences that really inspire us and others that overwhelm us, which words in the English language we can't find to really give you an idea of, because unless you've tasted the fruit of life, the fruit of life is amazing. I mean, we all kind of have, especially you hearing me speaking the same language, whether it was a nice food, asleep on a nice bed, or warming your hands on a radiator. All those things have some gratification. That animal has never experienced that because this farmer likes the taste. Yeah, just because he likes the taste, there's no other benefit. There's no, as we've talked, there is no real medical benefit in there. But there are some people who say that they won't survive unless they eat something like beef or something like that. I hear that. It's a small percentage, and yeah, I hear that. But at the same time, no disrespect to a person with both sexual genitals, but that ain't meant to happen. You see what I'm saying? So you can say, well, what about this person? Yeah, of course, that person deserves their rights and happiness and peace and understanding and everything. But at the end of the day, if everything was, if we was doing what we were supposed to be doing, you look at the animals, you don't really get that sort of, those sort of quirks. I hope I'm using the right word. I don't know what else to say right now, but we use that for it's probably, I don't know if it's synchronized with civilizedness. I'd rather be on that path, but right now this is my limit. So, the quirks, you don't really see that in the animal kingdom. And I think the animal kingdom, although I don't think they're 100% doing what they're naturally supposed to be doing, they are closest to it. I.e., no costumes, internally and externally, you know. That's going to be hard for some people to dissect what I just said because they don't even realize there is a costume, you know. You know what I mean? But yeah, that to me is strange. This planet is strange. Like the sole reason these animals are going through the worst experience any being has been through in Earth's history is because he likes the taste. No other benefit. Loads of losses though. Loads of losses. Yeah. So this is why it's obvious that that industry will be a thing in the past, and people in the future will be saying they actually did that shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And that's part of history. His story. His story. Yeah. It's ironic. Like, I could go on and on and on, but it's hard. It's quite hard to just process what's in my head. Freestyle live from my head down into through the chambers, out of my mouth, into the mic, and me really. I mean, I'll do something. I think, cause if you didn't know and you see, and then you can comprehend and connect dots. That is a game, I think, because I mean, this information is second hand, but I've inputted my part, like he inputted his part, and I'm sure if you've been enlightened, you'll put in your part, and it will carry on. Like, and that is galaxy high. That is galaxy high. That and like whether you're, it's not a religious thing, but it is a spiritual thing, I think, because a man can be any religion, any walk of life, and he can take what I've said and pass it on. There's only a few can do that because only a few seem to resonate with it and connect with it and comprehend it. They're the free, yeah. And I'm thinking 3 to 5% of whoever sees this. Probably even less than that because only probably 5 or 10 people are gonna see this. If I put this online, I don't even know. And the thing is, me putting these things online, they're good in a sense because I watch them and I like them, and I think maybe I don't know. They might. I've done 900 videos, yeah. So I've done some terrible ones in the beginning, like I said. But I suppose I have 900 videos. Something's happened. You know what I mean? Because every action is a ripple effect. Like every action is a ripple effect, and it's either good or bad. You know, and you're either part of the problem, part of the solution. I'm sure we've all been part of the problem, and we've all been part of the solution. Everyone, yeah, everyone. But I think if you're not, I think like some people got it easier than others, more of a head start, you know. And there's theories to why that is, but anyway, I'm gonna cut it short now. I'm losing feel. So yeah. But I just want to say this, yeah. What I started, like these videos I'm making, 900 of them and everything. It's easy, and I want to hear this myself, and it'd be nice if someone else wants to hear this, and we connect. It's never. I don't know. I've been doing this for like 7 years, man. I ain't really connect with no one really. But yeah. So that being said, this isn't really working, but it is working because I still enjoy it, and I get to save stuff on here. I think quite a lot. I don't know how much you can save, but it seems quite a lot. And I'm thinking, like, if I did this properly, if I focused on it, yeah, I could make something. Make it more tangible, make it more edible, and get it to the point that it's so edible that it becomes like chocolate. You know, everybody can't refuse chocolate. You know, like that should be the goal, really. Like people want to bring things out, but how things are, I've realised, and I think Tai Lopez has comprehended this as well, is that if you really want to say something and be heard, there's one thing you got to do, man. It's very simple. It's not very simple, but it's simple to understand, and it's entertain. If you can entertain someone, you can tell them whatever you want, man. You know what I mean? And usually, they're more receptive to the information or the program. I call it program's probably the wrong time to say program because then I sound like I'm trying to exploit, you know, as we're in the land of exploitation. But yeah, man. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like if I can link up with like-minded people, I've got the written stuff somewhere, what the criteria are, but I can tell you some off my head. One, you have to basically, I'm trying to think of, because if I tell you the essential ones, yeah, that might make it seem not so attractive or tangible, I don't know. But let's think of some more universal things, like, for example, veganism might help. But then again, I don't really want to use veganism because that's not really this doesn't really work for me right now. But there you go. Treat others as you want to be treated. That's the first one. If you can't do that, you can't get in. That's it. So treat others as you want to be treated. Also, what's another one which is simple? Treat others as you want to be simple. Is it simple? Alright, here's some of the other ones which maybe ain't so simple, but basically you gotta. This one isn't essential, but if you're into this, then you should want to connect with me regardless of, you know, whatever is what seems quirky to you or different. You know what I mean? And that's basically what matters. Like, what matters? Like that cop who risked his job for standing up for what's right. You know, because that to me mattered. I actually gave that guy a donation. I don't often donate. I mean, I do donate, but uh, I think, you know, sometimes we get we feel guilty because we don't do something kind because someone else did something kind, but you can do something else kind, you know. So there's a lot of times I see charities and I think, should I do it? Oh, I'm not going to do it, so I'm not a good person, sort of thing. You know what I mean? A little bit of a primitive thing, but it's understandable. But you know, me, I think the best way to donate is to donate where you think it deserves to donate. Don't just keep donating because it makes you seem like a nice person. Doesn't mean make you a nice person. You know, because you fit in this script. Anyone can do that. You know what I mean? But I think what a nice person would do would think a little and say, okay, well, money is limited. It doesn't matter unless you're the queen and you got your face on the money. Your money is limited. Yeah. So in that case, be wise. So I would like to support things like you know, people are doing right things, yeah, and people who are good. I want to encourage those two things. People who are good, keep them on the path of being good, and encourage those who do good and keep them on the path of doing good. Yeah. So me, I'll be honest with you, unless it's a certain circumstance, I'm not really focusing on people who are like saying I ain't eating in days, or I don't know. I mean, I will, I have done, and I will give it in certain circumstances. But I'm more focused on. That's just me. That's me. I'm not saying everyone to do what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Anyway, so back to this qualifications. I'm looking for a group of people. Like I need people qualified in things like graphics, animation, because this stuff I'm focusing in is visual, audio, digital entertainment. Yeah, I think that's a good area to exploit. But I haven't got the gift of all that. Was it the right brain? I think it's the right brain, where that world is kind of peculiar for me, and I struggle in it. Not saying it's impossible, but time is limited, and I think me investing in that into something I struggle with, it's not my strategy. I don't work like that. I don't work like that. I don't think that's a good strategy. I think that's like going up a greasy ladder. You know, it's possible, but you know, there's better ways. You know what I mean? But basically, yeah, you know, it's people with those sort of skills really, and the main skill, the main skill, cause those skills we can find a way. You know, but the main skill is internal. Uh, internal intelligence. And I don't mean intelligence because I come across people who people would think, and they themselves think, and there is some truth in they may find areas and struggle in these areas where a lot of people wouldn't struggle, but I don't think they're um, um, unintelligent. Usually the case is usually they're more intelligent because I think when you not the norm and you kind of you know detach a little bit, you kind of are doing your own thing or you're you know it's just I think there's more growth in that world. I think people who are in that the norm, you know, the groups that subscribe to all the normal things, that limits them, blinds them, and hardens them. You know what I mean? So when I say intelligent, I'm talking about intelligent knowing, right, good is good and bad is bad. That's as intelligent. Kindness is intelligent. Yeah? That to me kindness to me is the highest intelligence because you can't really get to the next stage without it. I mean, you could have a high IQ, you can have a successful job, you can have whatever you want, but for you, in order to get through, I mean, past this superficial thing we're going through, which, I mean, the deeper things in life, yeah, and an easier life, a comfortable life. Kindness is like a pillar because, like, you know, I know people who can go anywhere and never be homeless because they're kind. You know what I mean? And he ain't got to work for that. That's automatic there. You know, whether he's awake or asleep, can't move, can move. You know what I mean? But it's such a underlooked thing, kindness. Really, you know, we're at a time where the younger generation well, in a way, yeah, it's kindness is being marketed in all kinds of abstract way, but you know, the young seem to really uh, trendy is being the opposite of kind, sort of thing. Rude, like skateboarders. Like if they do something rude, that's like a like. You get a like for that, man, on Instagram. You know what I mean? They get happy over that shit. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. But you know, it's not about whether it's right or wrong. It's just whether it's trendy. Do you know what I mean? That's that's the norm. That's the norm world. That's why I say that world kind of limits you. You know, if you believe in an illusion, how can you really grow? You know what I mean? You're gonna grow not not organically. You know what I mean? But I've gone on and gone on and gone on. I've gone on and gone on and gone on. But I just wanted to end this by saying because I think probably doing the wrong thing is, but I don't know. Too late to stop, man. Too late to stop, man. I might as well finish it. Innit? But basically, yeah, that's what I'm hoping to get, man. I'm just hoping to link up with people who, cause um, I can't do this alone, and you can't do this alone, and you ain't gonna know without me saying this. So by me saying this, you know, is the right thing. But at the same time, how do you do it? Um, so I'm being a bit insecure about it because I'm thinking like, you know, it looks stupid. And I don't want to look stupid because I'm trying to attract people. But at the same time, I don't want to, I think it would be stupid to overly try to attract people. So it's like I'm not trying to attract people, but I'm trying to attract people at the same time. It's weird. But yeah, it's just, you could go on Fiverr, right? I could go out there. I could strategically go out there and find these people. But usually when I go out there, it's hard to find like-minded people. This is why I'm targeting it like this. You know, I'm targeting it like this because um, it's not gonna work with someone who doesn't value kindness. Like I mean, that's the qualification more than the graphic design or the animation or the special effects or the YouTube strategies, you know, tagging and all that. That's cool. We can find that out. Do you know what I mean? Because more fingers, more eyes, more minds, like-minded. You know what I mean? On this path, it's gonna be easy, but it's gonna be hard to find what I'm looking for because where did I go? I went to the spirituality community. I went to the veganism community. I went to the Black conscious community. I went to Shaolin community. I went to the Buddhist community. I went to the Sikh community. Yeah, and nothing really was a substance that I could grab onto. You know, a substance you could grab onto. If I got pasta, yeah, and I threw it, it was stick. Yeah, it's got some, you know what I mean. But there was nothing that I can grab onto, really. You know, it's strange. I don't know. It's strange, but uh, is it strange or unique? You call it anything you want, but at the end of the day, I just find it like it shouldn't be that difficult. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be that difficult. Happiness, kindness, success, honesty. There you go. That's where it gets difficult. The honesty. I think that's the problem. Like we live in a artificial world. I'm slowly acknowledging that, and you know you can't be too real. You know you can't be too real, and I've got a problem with that. I've got a problem with that. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man, how, but I know there's gonna be a way. Maybe this way ain't the way. I've been trying, like, but you know, 6, 7 years on this YouTube, maybe 10, but I haven't really um, done the right thing. Maybe you know, because if I was having 600 views, maybe then I could find one or two or three or four or five or maybe even 10. But with 10 views, the odds are small. So that's a good thought. Yeah, I didn't really think of that. But at the same time, um, yeah, I would have done that back in the days. I had the time to do that, but I just didn't know. Um, I just didn't know what to do, and plus, I was struggling. I was in a different place mentally, physically, spiritually, um, wisdom, experience. You know what I mean? And now I know that really where to head if I wanted to do this, but I'm doing something else, and that's gonna hopefully give me other opportunities. But I just can't help but to get on this, especially after I had that thought thinking like, this farmer, why? I mean, for one, because it all came from an Instagram picture. See, this Shaolin monk, so-called Shaolin monk, with this African woman who's some Kenyan tribe. I forgot what they're called, but basically, she had an animal, so I knew straight away she ain't got that animal because she's not with the animal because they love each other really. I mean, there is some kind of love because naturally, this love thing, you know, it happens. It happens. It just happens, and time kind of creates it. You know, you spend time. The more time you spend with someone, like them or not, there's some kind of love that grows. You know, some more than others for sure, but there is in time as time goes. You know, even I mean, maybe not if you really having a bad relationship with someone, but if you're having a, you know, from 0 to 10, naught being like, you know, you won't miss the person, but the longer you spend with that person, even at a naught, there will be some kind of love. You know, you'll think of the person, you'll think of the times you have, oh, this, that way. And like I said, more than others, right? How do I get on this subject now? Yeah, so the animal now, there's that love they would have, but at the end of the day, she's probably gonna do something that, unless she's not had a relationship with love with another person, she's gonna feel a bit strange about what she's gonna do next to that animal. Unless she's had an upbringing with very little affection, very little love, which makes very little understanding. That's why I say kindness and love is a very, very, very concentrated form of intelligence that people underlook because we're not in a world that gives way to other people. That really, I mean, we do, but usually it's like I say, man, it's funky, bro. Funky, funky, funky. Like, how do you can't, it's how fucked up the world is. You can't even really talk about it. You can't explain it because it doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean? Are we about kindness? 50-50, 50% yeah, 50% not. That's not kindness. You know what I mean? It's not 50% and 50% not. That ain't kindness. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, the animal. That's where this came from. This is how this video came. Me seeing that, and I'm thinking, you got an animal, but you look at the animal as disposable. You took an animal out of its chance of having a wonderful life. Because I know if I got left by myself to eat, shit, and sleep, yeah, I ain't gonna have a problem with that. You know what I mean? Regardless of if I wouldn't exist if it weren't for you or not. You know what I mean? So for that person, that woman, with the animal, to be doing that solely for the taste. When she lives in Africa, where you got the most best food on the planet, actually coming from the planet, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and all you have to do is get creative. All you got to do is get creative. If you get bored with something and mix things up a bit, trust me, your mind is so primitive. Your mind is, and I think that comes from that lifestyle, because you have to go through a lot of process to make these animals useful, yeah, and you can't even see that you could be in harmony with the planet and God, yeah, by doing what you're supposed to do. But instead of that, you're creating the end of the world through climate change and cancer, and you know what I mean, having a creature that. All right, fair enough. The, in Africa, the animal is not going to have as much abuse as an animal in England or America. But trust me, you'd rather be somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? Well, that's debatable. But at the end of the day of the slaughter, it would rather be somewhere else. Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? If you're going to take care of the animal, that's cool, bro. But the slaughtering ain't cool, man. The slaughtering ain't cool. You know, the only thing cool about it is the pleasure you get from eating it. And the pleasure you get from eating it, you're going to pay for it later with diseases and sometimes viruses. And you still, this is what I'm saying, this is how crazy the world is. But as I'm saying it, it don't sound like much, because to everyone else, that is fucking normal. You know what I'm saying? That is fucking normal. You know what I mean? And the mind is so twisted, right, that this subject don't even mean nothing. Like, this is a waste of their time. Do you know what I mean? And what is use of their time? Check out their entertainment. Check out, their conversations or whatever. You know, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, not a lot of people are going to be saying this. Not people are going to tune into this, because someone's going to feel offended by doing something that's offensive 24/7. They can be offensive 24/7 out. 24/7s? 24/7, you know what 24/7 is. But as soon as you address it for 32 minutes, yeah, it's a big fucking thing, you know what I mean? So that's how fucked up things is, bro. You know what I mean? It's fucked up. Fucked up. But I'm fucked up too, because I've wasted 32 minutes doing this. And it ain't gonna be effective. But it's just some kind of, I don't know what it is. I suppose in a way it's alright. I do these things, I make these mistakes, and then I think of all the negative things. But in the end, when I think about it, it was all good, because things wouldn't be as they are now if I didn't do them. And we're heading somewhere.